right, welcome back to another episode of the Power Sports Memorabilia Show. I am your host, Matt Powers. Thank you again for joining me. Please visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. Also, me follow over there on Instagram at Powers Autographs. And in case you haven't signed up yet, we did start text message notifications on all the autograph signings and also all the YouTube videos that'll be coming out. So if you want to get early access to all that stuff, you can go ahead and sign up for text message notifications. I'll put a link here in the description below. You can opt out anytime, but some people like those text messages as opposed to those emails. So definitely a very cool way to get all the information. All right, so today's topic is going to be around 5 tips when investing in baseball prospects. And before we get to the whole topic today, I just kind of want to do a quick little setup for you here on why I wanted to talk about this. And early February 2022, Golden Auctions sold the most sought-after Jason Dominguez card. Okay, it was a 2020 First Bowman Super Refractor Auto card, which is a 1-of-1. It's an on-card auto, which is what everybody wants. Okay, no sticker autos. I hate sticker autos. I won't buy them. And of course, it was graded a PSA 10. All right, so could this card really be graded anything else but a PSA 10? I mean, did they even look at the card? Like, I just put in a PSA 10 holder. It'll sell for a whole bunch more. But I don't know. The card looks good, but he is the Yankees' #1 prospect right now, and he's definitely one of the top baseball prospects. So this card, which was pulled out of a $20 pack, sold with the buyer's premium for $474,000. Think about that. $474K. Pretty risky purchase for a guy who hasn't even made the big leagues yet. I'm not sure who bought it. Maybe it was one of those fractional share companies. But if you happen to know who did, comment below. Let us know who did. But again, just a crazy buy here. The guy hit 252 in low A ball last year in the minors. Now, stats are kind of a little messed up because of everything that's been shut down. The seasons didn't go on, so it's kind of a weird stat to go off of. But 252 in low A ball last year. What are the chances this guy turns into Mike Trout? Okay, not great. 99% of prospects fail to live up to expectations. Remember Brian Taylor, Todd Van Poppel. I mean, we can go on and on and on. So I think we can agree that $474,000 is a lot of money. So before we get into today's topic, I just want to touch on 2 things you could actually buy instead of the Jason Dominguez card. So in the Bronx, New York, where hopefully he plays his career, you could buy a $490,000 house right now, a 3-bedroom house with 1.5 baths and 1,300 square foot in the Bronx right now for almost the same price at $490,000. Or if you're 30 years old and you had this amount of cash sitting around, you could actually put it in some mutual funds, get an 8% rate of return. Over 30 years, you'd have approximately about $4.7 million. So that seems like a little more safer bet to me. But again, these people that are buying cards like this have way more money than me, and they have some good ideas on what they want to do with this card. So obviously, most of us aren't spending $474,000 on anything that doesn't have a mortgage attached to it. So what can we learn from this purchase about investing in baseball prospects? Okay, they tend to be some of the more riskier ones than versus like the NFL or the NBA, just because there's so many of them and there's so many different positions. They've got to go through the prospects, through the minor leagues. A lot of them are international players we haven't really seen a lot. So there's just a big risk with baseball prospecting. Lots can happen during those years when they're playing in the minors, injuries and all that kind of stuff. So let's talk about 5 tips today when investing in baseball prospects. All right, first off, I'm all about fun. Investing and collecting should always be fun. So my first tip is to invest in hometown guys. We're based here in Kansas City, and Bobby Witt Jr. is a popular guy to buy around here. One of the Royals' top prospects out there. So investing in a guy that you're going to watch potentially play in your hometown is way more fun than investing in anybody else outside of your hometown team. So I definitely encourage you to start with your hometown guys. They can definitely be, cheap and fun to watch grow up. It's a fun thing to do with your kids too, because they're going to watch these guys play. So my first tip is to start investing with your hometown guys first. Definitely way more fun and interesting than doing guys outside of your hometown. All right, second tip is if you are investing in those guys that are outside of your hometown, there are a couple things to keep in mind. Generally speaking, hitters are always better investments than pitchers. Buy those hitters. Jacob deGrom, I think we could probably agree he's definitely one of the top 5 pitchers, if not one of the best pitchers in the game. He doesn't sell anywhere near as much as guys like Mike Trout, Ohtani, Acuna. Obviously, pitchers are only playing roughly once every 5 days. So the hitters are the guys that sell. Always buy hitters. And prospects from big-time cities or organizations can also pay off a bit easier than the smaller town ones. Take Jason Dominguez, for example. Okay, if he was playing for, let's say, the Seattle Mariners or our Kansas City Royals, probably wouldn't sell nearly as much. But since he plays for the Yankees, they've got a huge fan base, tons of collectors. Their stuff is going to sell for a premium more so than a Royals or a Seattle Mariners prospect. All right, my third tip is research, research, research. The better you understand what kind of players you are investing in, the better you will feel about that investment. You got to watch the player play the game. It's just, when you talk about football players, right, you can look at their stats all the time. But once you get the pads on, that's when you know who can play the game. What do they look like on the field? And it's the same thing with baseball. What do these players look like? You can't just look at stats. They're a small part of the percentage. But if you look at guys like Mike Trout, watching him going through the minors, that guy played with a passion. He could do everything. So the stats only tell one part of the story. Now, if you're investing $1 or $2 in cards or some other cheap stuff for guys, obviously you need to know every intimate detail about these guys. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're going to be getting gung-ho about a guy, you want to spend $500, $1,000, $2,000 investing in some sort of player, you better know what type of player he is. Spend a few hours, maybe a day or so, watching some film, talking, reading some other things, talking to other collectors and investors. Figure out what kind of player this guy is, and you're going to feel way better about buying or not buying a guy based off of your own research. And even then, it's still not enough. Guys still bomb out. Guys still suck when you thought they were going to be good. But doing some good, solid research will kind of weed out some of those players. And number 4, spend what you are willing to lose. Same principles apply here when you go gambling or you go buy your crypto, right? Spend what you can comfortably afford to throw away. The prospect turns into a big-time hero. Hey, basically you're winning with the house's money right now. Guy goes to crap, which again is most likely to happen. 99% of prospects fail. Okay, you've lost money that isn't life-changing to you. You're not sweating every single night. I mean, imagine the guys that are heavily invested and guys that have money they don't have and they get injured. Like, imagine what you would feel like every night. Like, oh my God, is this guy going to get better? Is this guy going to get better? I got $10,000 tied up in him. Okay, spend what you are willing and can afford to lose. And number 5, buy items that sell no matter what team they're on. Guys get traded. They maybe come up in one organization and then they become a star with another organization. So you want to get items that sell but also can transfer with the player should they get traded and whatnot. Signed baseballs, rookie cards, bats, stuff like that is what sells for prospects, particularly the baseballs, because if you can get in guys on them cheap, let's say they're $10 autographs to start off with, you're into the baseballs for $15-$20, and that's a really affordable way to pick up some baseballs on a guy. Rookie cards, you can usually get those fairly cheap and get some of those signed at the stadium and whatnot. So those are the type of items that you want to be getting. I wouldn't do jerseys. They typically don't have jerseys for prospects anyway because they don't know what their number is going to be like in the big leagues. So you can kind of stay away from those. But I would stay away from those anyway. I wouldn't do any minor league jerseys. Those don't sell. Stick to the baseballs, the rookie cards, and also the bats. That way you protect yourself should a guy get traded. So hopefully these 5 tips help you in investing in baseball prospects. And just know that you're not going to win them all. You're going to lose some. It's okay. It's not a big deal. But as long as you are spending money that you can afford to lose and also having some fun with it by investing in some hometown guys, I think you will have a blast investing in baseball prospects. Again, don't forget to visit the website, powersportsmemorabilia.com. Also, can be followed over there on Instagram at Powers Autographs. And also sign up for those text message notifications if that is what you would like to get your information from. And I will see you in the next episode.